Hello everyone, this is Miss Howard and we are going to be practicing uh, different types of lines and focusing on how to use these lines to create our drawings. In this case, you're going to start to understand how just using some simple lines with a little value can create a three-dimensional look to your artwork. And we're just going to start simple. I know it looks complex and intimidating, but with all art, when you break it down to the elements and the principles, everything is so much easier. Okay, this is a process journal project. It's a fancy way of saying more than a sketchbook. It's a sketchbook. You can write in it, you can cut things out, you can glue things on, you can come up with creative ideas. We don't want you to think that a sketchbook has to be only sketches. We want you to really understand that it's a learning tool. You know, I've bounced some ideas around, haven't quite figured it out, but I want to get it down so I don't forget it, come back to it later, etc. No, you do not need to have a journal or a sketchbook or anything like that. If you do have a sketchbook that you want to use, like I am here, that's great. If you only have a spiral notebook and you want to use that, that's fine. A composition notebook, that's fine. Any of those will work to kind of, it's practice. It's practice. You don't see NFL football players or professional soccer players or cheerleaders just run out there and start doing everything unless they warm up. This is our warm up. This is our practice. This is kind of getting everything going in the right direction. So, enough with the talk. Let's get started. For this project, you are going to simply need a piece of paper, whether it's in a journal or not, something that's a straight edge. A straight edge can even be the edge of a Kleenex box that you can draw straight lines with. We only need it to start with, or you can use a ruler, something straight. You can use another piece of paper to line up to help you make a straight line. You need a straight edge to use and something to write with. Guys, you can do this with just pencil. You can do it with pen. Okay? It's probably easiest with pencil. I'm going to show markers because it's easier to show the different steps when I have different colors to work with. So I'm going to be using marker. Crayon works, colored pencil works. You just need to think dark, medium, light. There's your value. And lines. We're going to be using just the simple curved lines to help us create this project. All right, let's get started. The first thing you're going to need to do is we're going to need to divide our paper up. So I'm just going to use this straight edge, this ruler, and I'm going to line up my corners. And then you can use whatever tool you're using. Remember, I'm going to be using markers. So I'm going to do my diagonal line from corner to corner. There's that diagonal line. We need all kinds of lines. You should practice them all. All right, and the next corners. All right, go ahead and make your crisscross line. I'll give you about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to get those done. It's okay if you're not done, you can still finish it. Then you need one that's straight up and down, as close as you can, and one that is so that was your vertical. So this is now our horizontal, which goes directly across the paper. If they are not perfect, that's okay. Now, you can divide these up even more. That's up to you. All right. I'm going to leave them a little bit larger. It's easier to see, as well as time. I'm not going to finish this. You will have to finish this project on your own. I am going to be taking you step by step through one. I'm going to review the other one, and then you're on your own for the rest. And I might even do the different colors. Okay, so if you're using colors, you're going to need 2 different colors. And if you're using the colored pencil, you can push harder for dark, kind of hard for medium, and light, just barely touch it at all. So you can use the value that way. If you're using a regular pencil, it's the same as the color pencil. What's neat is with color pencil, you can use 2 different colors. With your regular pencil, it's going to be very monochromatic. I would recommend really going darker in one and lighter in the others. You're still going to have to come up with different values of the lights and darks. Okay. So I will show the pencil a little bit. I'm going to start with the marker. I want to use, it looks like the greens and the reds would probably work pretty good. All right, so I need a dark green and a light green. Yep. And even a lighter green. So I'm going to need 3 different greens. I happen to have that. All right. And for kind of the pink or the reds, my red is darker than this pink, and then I even have a lighter pink. So that's what I'm going to be starting with. So let me start with my darkest color. I think it looks better. Again, I will show you the black and white monochromatic after I show the color. But again, this is simply going to be used to help you understand the multiple colors. In fact, I like this hand to write with, so I'm going to go on this one here. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my darkest color. Ooh, sorry about the picture quality, but starting in the middle, I'm going to make a little curved rainbow. Okay. Curved rainbow. Curved rainbow. And I'm just going to keep going. And keep going. And as you can see, mine are not perfect. But all the way, that one's really wiggly. Again, this is practice. And then I'm just going to keep going. Even though it's falling off, I'm pretending I can see it kind of finish off in these little areas. All right. All right. There's my dark green. We'll be coming back to him in a minute. So now I'm going to go with my lightest green. You can even go with, I can even go yellow down the middle. Let's do that since that's really going to be bright. And you're going to do every other one. Let's see. Here I have this kind of green and red one right here. You see it kind of alternates. Green, red, green, red, green, red, or green, pink, all the way down. So when you're doing it, color the middle, skip one, color the middle, skip one, color the middle. Now you notice your middle keeps getting bigger. All right, skip one, color the middle. All right, skip one, color the middle. Skip one. Now look how I got tricky here. I'm still imagining that it's going and going. So this is the middle. And then I'm not going to see it on this one at all. All right, because that's the middle. I can also, I'm just going to start here. Then I'm going to switch to my lighter green. All right. The lighter green. And I'm just going to start with this top one here. On this side, I'm going to slightly curve it to match the curved line here. And it's going to be kind of in the middle area. To the side. And then next to it, I'm going to take this dark green again. Now you notice with marker, I'm not scribble scrabbling. I'm going nice and one line at a time so as not to mess up the tip of my marker and to help it last longer. So that's basically the idea behind it. Now there are a few more little tricks to it. You don't want to do a straight line. All right. You do want it to be kind of going in to the other one a little bit. And our eye is reading that as a brand new color. All right. Again, slightly going into the next color. I apologize, this zoom is very blurry. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little better. Nope, doesn't want to. Ah, there we go. All right. Okay, technical difficulties here. There. Okay, moving on. So, we've added a few lines in there and a few lines in there to kind of blend it in. So, you're going to repeat. And what I couldn't do on that one is show you have to do it on this other side as well. And again, make sure it kind of feathers in there a little bit. And you'll repeat it again with the darker color. Kind of filled it in, and then I'm coming in and just kind of lightly doing a couple lines to kind of help with the blend. Forgive me, I have to turn my paper My hand doesn't twist that way. Not easily. And as you can tell, there's nothing wrong with turning your paper to get a better angle at your drawing. All right. So I want you to go ahead and do all of them. And if I finish before you, go ahead and pause it until you get done with yours. And then start playing, and I will show you how to do the other colors on the inside. Ready? Go. Remember, you do yours, I'm doing mine. You're just repeating the same steps. It gets tricky when you get to the small ones. Remember, the slightest curve, you don't want it to be a perfect straight line. It's got to follow the curve. Oops, I gotta do this partial one here. And add my little extra lines. Just to give it a little bit more of a blending. Okay, if you are not done, don't panic. You have control of the pause button. Go ahead and pause it, and when you do finish, press play. Okay, we are now moving on. So those were those three colors. Again, we picked a light one, a medium one, and a dark one in the same family. In order to make green, yellow and blue make green. So in a sense, I could have done yellow, green, and blue. Okay, but I chose to go to make it all kind of in the green area. All right. Now, the other lines, I'm going to do the same steps, but I have a light, a medium, and my red is actually pretty dark, so I can follow along with that. Now we take it all the way in. You tell my dogs are just so excited today. The last couple days when I was not recording, they have been silent. And now when I start doing a recording, they have done nothing but bark. Isn't that a silly coincidence? Wow. Okay. So as you can see, I'm following the same steps. I'm doing the lighter pink, In my case, I chose the pink, so I'm doing the lightest one in the middle. And I'm kind of matching it up to what I did with the yellow. Kind of starting and stopping pretty much in the same spots as the yellow. Now I'm moving on to my medium. On either side. And don't forget to feather it in. And my medium is going to follow the medium green and in the same spots. Because you want your highlight to match as it's going down. And the mediums. So it kind of makes a consistent light source. If you have it going all over the place, you're not going to get the same effect, which is why we're learning this. Right. Again, slightly curving as you're making your lines. Notice I have never colored this way when I'm doing my rainbowy shapes. I'm following the direction of the line. Following the direction of the line. And my partial one over here. Feather. Feather. I'm making my feathers about the same length as the green ones. Okay. And on to the darks. And like I said, my red is darker. If not, I could have done like the purple would also have worked. Looks like I probably should have switched them. My maroon is a little bit darker than my red, so yes, I'm going to switch to my purple. I want it darker, darkest on the edges, because that's part of that illusion, using your value scale. Your darker is where your shadows are. And if this was round, the shadows would be on the edges. Right. This is nice and dark. Just like the green was super dark. This poor purple marker is slowly giving up. I'm always demonstrating with usually markers when I'm doing my document cameras at school. And you pretty much run out of black markers, and then you start switching to the other dark ones, the browns and the purples. The kids usually end up using all the blue ones. And so here we go. Don't forget your little feathering, just to make it more gradual. Let's see. That poor purple marker's pretty much gone. There we go. This one's working. Much better. And again, if I am going too fast, make sure that you hit pause and give yourself a chance to catch up. I'm not able to walk around your bedroom or wherever your computer is located at your house. I'm not able to walk over there and see if you're keeping up with me or not. In the classroom, I can pace this a little bit easier because I can walk around and see where all the kids are. All right, my last little section here. Again, curving the lines and adding my little feathery lines. Now, up close, you can see all the intricate artwork. So let's start pulling it out. And you can see how it starts looking more three-dimensional, like this middle area is sticking up further and the darker edges are disappearing in. All right. So let's talk about how do we do it with just black. And I can see if maybe my pencil will show up. All right, let me zoom it back in. All right, we'll do a little side-by-side comparison here. That is my puppy dog. She's an old girl and she made it up the steps and she's out of breath. My poor thing. I know. All right, so just like before, you're going to kind of push dark. Make sure you can see this. Oh, you can. And no, you don't have to line them up. In fact, I think I'm going to purposely not line them up too exact. Close, but not quite. And I'm doing my curves, and I'm going to be pushing kind of hard on my pencil. Notice I keep going back over and over again. And just practicing going back and forth over the line that you just did is also great practice. In fact, I'm very happy right now that I've been very close to being right on top of each other. Now that I said something. All right, you're going to keep doing that all the way. And now we're going to do our light, your mediums, and your darks. So we're going to start light, but we're going to start with the darker stripe, kind of like our red lines are darker than our yellow-green lines. All right. So I like starting with the second one. I don't know why. I'm just going to barely touch my pencil. Back and forth, back and forth. All right. Just enough that it gives the illusion that it's the same value as the yellow or the pink. Right? It's a light version. This is why I never demonstrate with pencil with my students. I'm always demonstrating with my markers. It's also wonderful when I mess up because I can show the kids that, no, you don't tear up the paper or wad it up and throw it away and start over. You work with it. Okay, so you have kind of that light going on. This is kind of like our pinks. And then I'm going to push a little bit harder. on the sides. And I really have to turn my paper. I'm working with pencil. And then I'm going to go as dark as I can on the very edge. Dark as I can. Curve, you got, when you're, I know I'm going faster, but I'm still doing kind of that curved shape. This one I'm not even really going to bother with the medium. I'm just going to go straight to the dark. I don't have much room on it. I can do just a little bit of the medium. Just a little bit. Alright. I'm doing my medium. And again, remember, you did all the rings all the way up. You didn't stop early. You're just learning how to do this. Like I said, some of you are probably just ignoring this and still doing the marker. That's fine too, but it's good to know. Value. Value is how dark or light something is. All right. Now I've heard from the grapevine of other higher level art teachers, like your advanced art teachers at the high school level, and said never ever let the kids use their finger to rub. Put a little tissue on if you don't have the blending tool. If you don't know what the blending tool is, it looks like a pencil, but it's just made out of paper. Oopsie. And you use it to rub. And you're blending and mixing them together. Keep your eraser nearby. In case you get out of the lines. And you can come in and kind of clean it up. Alright, come and clean it up. And now we're going to do the other ones. So the other ones are our kind of lighter ones. And again, we have the dark on the side, the medium, and I'm really not going to touch the inside. And a dark. So my dark is almost like kind of in between this medium and light that I used on this one. And just barely bringing it up there. Kind of a medium there, and a lighter one, and then nothing in the middle. And you see how it's getting that effect? And this is what our practice is for. Practice, practice. You're not going to get it perfect the first time you try to do something. Not everybody makes it into the NBA or the Major League Baseball. They don't always make it on the cheerleading team the first time they try to join. You have to practice. You have to practice. Here's the lighter ones. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to still blend just to kind of bring it through the middle. and just make sure that it is lighter than the other ones. And as I'm looking, see I kind of lost all of this in here. It's looking pretty good here. I have my shadows right there, but it got too light there, so I'm just go back and add another layer. See? Even I make mistakes. But I'll give you a little secret. Drawing is not my best art skill. I like more three-dimensional stuff. Okay, so my highlight's a little light, wide there. I'm probably just still going to need to bring up some of this. And again, soften it up. These are almost a little too much like a straight line, so I'm going to soften these up. And you keep working with it. All right, so I've shown you how to do it with marker, and I've shown you how to do it with pencil. If you have not already started, I would like for you to completely finish all of your, we'll call it, contour lines. Oh, how boring. The bullseye of wonderfulness. Teachers, if you want to challenge the kids to stick with complementary colors, where they have to do the reds with the greens and the oranges with the blue and the purples with the yellows, you can challenge them as well. Kids, if you want to challenge yourself with that, feel free, working on your values. This works great with colored pencils because you have so many more colored choices. All right. Enjoy your lesson and have fun creating.